the man who sold his mother's grave. They say when a mother dies, a part of her child is buried with her. But for some sons, even the grave is not sacred. This is the story of a man who sold his mother's resting place and spent the rest of his life paying for it.
Welcome to Zane TV, where African stories breathe. The home of powerful African stories. Relax and let the story begin. Don't forget to subscribe.
In a quiet village, surrounded by dusty roads and whispering trees, lived a young man named Sam. He was 25 years old, worn from hard labor, yet full of dreams too big for his small home. He was poor, hungry, and tired of suffering. But his sick mother, Mama Kate, was rich in one thing: faith. Even as her body weakened, her spirit shone brighter than the morning sun. Before she died, she called her son close, her voice trembling but firm. "My son, when I leave this world, bury me on our land. Promise me you will never sell it. That land is our root. It holds our history, our family, our blood." Sam's heart ached, but he nodded. "I promise, Mama." Few weeks later, she died and was buried there, when others had left. As he stood over her grave, Naomi, a spirited young woman from the village who often helped care for Mama Kate, approached quietly, her eyes carrying a mix of curiosity and sorrow. "Sam," she whispered, "your mother. She believed in you, and she believed in this land. Don't let her faith die with her." 2 years later, life had become unbearable. Every day was a struggle. No job, no money, no respect. The village seemed to mock him as much as the people did. "You're still here? Is this how you'll die poor?" Even the wine through the dusty streets seemed to whisper his failures. One evening, as the sun sank behind the hills, painting the village in fiery orange, a stranger appeared at Sam's gate. He was sharp-dressed, confident, with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "That land of yours," he said, flipping open a folder. "It's worth a fortune now. Sell it, and change your life." Sam's heart raced. He swallowed hard, staring at the spot where Mama Kate was buried. "But my mother is buried there." The man leaned closer, his smile turning cold, almost mocking. "Dead people don't need land. Living people do. Think about yourself, boy." Sam's hands shook. He looked at the empty fields, at the cracked path where he had once walked with Mama Kate, and felt the weight of hunger, failure, and humiliation pressing down on him. That night, Sam did not sleep. He lay awake, staring at the ceiling, listening to the wind, listening to the distant cries of children, and wondering if breaking his promise was the only way to survive. Hunger spoke louder than conscience. The next week, under the burning sun, Sam stood in silence as the papers were placed before him. His hands trembled. The pen felt heavier than a stone. For a long moment, he did not move. Then, without looking up, he signed. The bulldozers came. Their engines roared, breaking the quiet of the village. People gathered from a distance. Dust rose into the air. As they dug, the shovel hit something different. They uncovered his mother's grave. Sam's chest tightened. His breath caught. The world seemed to stand still. He looked away, and that was the day he sold his piece. Money came, fast, in huge amounts. He had sold the land for a very expensive price. More money than he had ever seen in his life. New clothes, new cars, new phone, new friends. People who once mocked him now greeted him with smiles and respect. Some even bowed their heads when he passed. Doors that were once closed now opened easily. But at night, when the noise of the day faded, when he lay alone in his room, he began to dream. In the dream, he was standing on the old land. His mother stood by the grave, silent, angry, not shouting, just looking at him, disappointed. 6 months later, the money was almost gone. First, his business failed. He forced a smile and said, "It's normal. Business rises and falls." Then his car was stolen. Then, one night, his house caught fire. He stood outside, watching the flames eat everything he owned. And for the first time, he felt afraid. Then he fell sick. Not an ordinary sickness. The kind that makes you weak. The kind that makes you fear sleep. Because every time he slept, the same dream returned. He was standing on the old land. The air was cold. The ground was empty. His mother stood there, not moving, not blinking, standing on bare ground. And a voice that sounded like the wind and the grave together. And she said only one sentence. "You broke your promise." He woke up scared. A village elder visited him in the hospital. He was very old. His back was bent. His eyes were sharp, too sharp, as if they could see things other people could not. He listened to Sam in silence, did not interrupt, did not nod. When Sam finished, the old man finally spoke. Some money is cursed. Some land is not just land. You sold a covenant. The room felt colder. Sam forced a weak laugh. Dreams are just dreams. The old man looked at him for a long time and said nothing more. That night, Sam did not wake up in his hospital bed. He woke up at the old land, standing, barefoot, in the rain. The wind howled around him. The place was empty, but he felt he was not alone. He fell on his knees, crying, "Mama, I was hungry. I was desperate. Forgive me." But the wind only answered him. Within 1 year, everything was gone. The money, the friends, the strength, the sickness did not leave him. The bad luck did not stop. One loss followed another, until there was nothing left to lose. Sam returned to the village, not as a man who had succeeded, but as a man who had been empty, poorer than he left. And the land? A big house stood on it now, tall, beautiful. He stood at the gate for a long time, watching strangers walk in and out of the place where his mother once slept. He fell to his knees, and he wept. Sam became a quiet man, not because he wanted to be, but because there was nothing left to say. He never spoke much again. Every evening, as the sun went down, he sat by the roadside, facing the land. Sometimes, people passing by said they saw him talking to himself. Sometimes, they said they saw him crying. But Sam always sat there, looking at the land, where his mother once slept, and where his peace was buried forever.
Not everything that can be sold should be sold. Not every problem needs a shortcut. Some promises are heavier than hunger, and some betrayals follow you forever. Respect the dead, honor your roots. Thank you for watching Zane TV. Please like, share and subscribe. More powerful African stories are coming your way. Stay tuned.